Everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Sanaa from So Crafty Sanaa, and I am back. Yes, I have been missing in action. Lots of things going on, and as you may know, I am a corporate girly. I do have a corporate job. I run So Crafty Sanaa, which is my small business. It can be a lot. I had to tend to some things at home and work, and I was just really busy. I miss you guys. I am back, as you can tell by the title of this video. I am going to be doing my October's reset. I am going to be going over my October's budget. I am getting ready to be back in the swing of things. I do want to say I never stopped budgeting. Although I have not been on camera, I've not stopped budgeting. I've not stopped saving, cash stuffing. However, So Crafty Sanaa, I did take a back seat to that because I'm just one person. I couldn't be in multiple places doing multiple things at one time. I miss my community. I miss my friends that I've built over the years. I am back, and I don't want this video to be long. I want to get right into my budget. I want to get right into my cash stuffing. I want to let you all know how things are going while we're doing that. I am excited to be back in front of the camera. It took a lot. It was really hard to get back here. I'm not really sure why. It's, oh, I don't feel like filming. Oh, I don't feel like editing. But I miss everyone, and I haven't been on social media either. I don't really like social media. So not being on social media is fine by me. It literally takes a lot to present yourself to the world. It's just easy to just get up and do. Not that I plan anything. Making content is a plan. We'll get into the plans later because digital planning has still been a go. Can't wait to do that with you all. I am doing a plan with me video for October as well, and then my weekly plan with me. So we'll get into that separate. What I'm going to do is I am going to do a screen share and pull up my budget. We're going to go over my Payday Budget template. It's called the Payday Budget Dashboard. I love it. I'm constantly working on it because I was supposed to launch that for this year. I decided that I'm going to launch it fresh for January. I've tried it out for a whole year. Mind you, I designed it. I love it. Of course, like the Payday Budget book, it is meant to mirror the Payday Budget book with a lot of the tables and everything self-calculates. Let's take a look at that. But I'll do a full overview. But for right now, let's just look at my budget. I did start a new job back in May. I still work for the same company. Took a new position, a promotional position. It's been very busy building out a whole new department. I focused on just work for the time being, and here we are. This is what a monthly template looks like for me on my Payday Budget worksheet. Now, as you can see, I don't disclose my numbers. I really don't. I will go over what my budgeted income for the month. I don't necessarily do a breakdown. I am shooting low for the month only because I'm really only focusing on my corporate income instead of So Crafty Sanaa, being as though I took a little hiatus, and of course it affects the business when you're not there. SKS income is lower than what it normally is, but that's okay. That was a decision I made. That was a personal decision. I'm not mad at that at all. What I want to do with my Payday Budget template is I want to go over what my monthly income is and what my expected expenses are. I do want to explain a little bit about that, what my budget summary looks like. First and foremost, I'm budgeting for $9,700 of income this month, okay? I don't really anticipate any SKS income in there. It happens. Like, I still make money, but I don't really budget that money because I really don't know how much it's going to be. It used to be a little bit more consistent now because, like I said, I've taken several months off of SKS. Of course, the business, there is an impact to the revenue of the business, and that is totally fine. That's my decision to do that. Like I said, I have a corporate job. I work 9 to 5. I work more than 9 to 5. But anyway, I do have a full-time job, whereas though if I don't do SKS, I am 100% totally fine. My expected monthly income is going to be what I anticipated to the penny, $9,699.59. And so let's talk a little bit about what I plan to do with my income for the month. If we take a look at my monthly budget summary here, right? Just looking at my monthly budget summary, it says that my income is expected at $9,699.59. My bills that I'm expected, all of my expenses to pay out for the month, not my variable spending, but my fixed spending, is $4,317. So that includes every bill that I plan to pay this month. Now, when it comes to my bills, I am 1 month ahead on bills. I do want to state that my bills that is coming out for the month of October is from my September's income. Income I am generating for October will go towards paying November's bills. I am currently 1 month ahead on bills, you guys, and I do want you to go along with me on my journey to get 2 months ahead on bills. We'll talk about that a little later, but I did come up with the savings binder to help me get 2 months ahead on bills. And for anyone else who's trying to get 1 month ahead on bills, the Let's Get Ahead binder will definitely assist you with that, but I'll show that later. The $4,317.17, that is my bills. I do not, and that is not calculated, that is not being deducted from the $9,000. Here where you see savings and investment, $4,750, that is being deducted, and then that leaves me $4,949.59 to budget. I will talk about the spending expense category. That amount clearly is not being deducted from there. When I click on this amount, and I'm going to click on the formula, you can see the fields that I have being deducted from my income. The cash envelopes and sinking funds, which we're going to build that out and budget for that together in this video. The savings and investment does come out of the income, and any debt payments will come out of the income. I don't have my bill expenses come out of my income because, again, this is from September's income. This money is sitting specifically from September's income, and the savings and investment includes my bill money for November. I'll show you the breakdown of the table for savings and investments, and then you will see where that money is going. That leaves me with $4,949.59 to budget. Okay, that's mainly what we're gonna do, but let me talk about spending expenses here. $9,920.61 is money I have budgeted in my cash envelopes and sinking funds that I have readily and available to spend. I'm not going to spend that money, but that is budgeted money I have to spend out of my cash envelopes and sinking funds. Let me just minimize this a little bit, and we're going to look at that table. This is the monthly spending expense category table. All of these are my cash envelopes and sinking funds. And of course, I have my HSA on here because that is a spending account that I will use to spend money. My account, I don't put a balance in my account. I don't put a balance because that's my checking account, right? But sometimes I will spend money from my checking accounts. I will have that there. My HSA, of course, that is money that I have in my HSA, but the rest are my cash envelope, my sinking funds, just money I have ready to spend. That is $9,920.61. Now, when we look at my monthly budget summary, the reason why it's there is because any spending that I do from my cash envelopes and sinking funds will show in the actual column. It says already we are, on October the 2nd, and so, no, I am filming this, it is October the 5th. Forgive me. And I've already spent $296.88. Unavoidable. I filmed too late. I tried to get ahead, but I couldn't. When I spend from these sinking funds, it's going to show in the actual column. Now, remember, this $9,920 is money I've already budgeted from previous paychecks. Money saved for short or long-term savings goals. So this is money that I plan to spend. I put the full amount there because it is money that's budgeted for me to spend. That's why it's on here. Okay. Right now, without contributing what I plan to contribute out of the $4,949, I have $9,920 in my cash and sinking funds. Let's budget my money. I want to take a look at the monthly savings and investment. Right? As we look at the monthly savings and investment here, as we look at this, it says that I'm going to give $100 to Fidelity. Now, I was contributing more to my Roth. What happened was I kept seeing me lose so much money, so I stopped contributing. And I do contribute to a 401k, and I do have a very high percentage going into my 401k. And when I tell you, my 401k is doing very well right now. I don't know what it is, but it's doing very well. Now, my Fidelity is doing okay, but with the market and things that were going on in the world, I just halted contributing money. I know it'll bounce back. I just stopped. I'm gradually going back into my Fidelity. I have $100 going to Fidelity. That is the plan. I usually give more, but right now I'm only budgeting for $100. My TD savings account, $150. Now the $4,500 is going to go to my bill account for November's bills. Of course, like I said, I take out of my income for the current month to put the money away for the bills for the next month. When I do my November's, you'll see that bill expense is money I put aside from my October's income. That's the $4,750 that's in the monthly budget summary there. Now, let's not give away, but let's budget this roughly $5,000. When I come over to my spending expense table, as I decide how much I want to give to my monthly payday envelopes for the month, I'm budgeting how much I want to give to each cash envelope and sinking fund. As I do that, the amount will change on my payday spending expense table because it is money that I'm budgeting for the month of October that's going to be readily and available to spend. For instance, me money. For the month of October, how much money do I feel like I need to spend? Now, I have drastically been cutting back on my spending. One reason being, I did some home remodeling, right? You guys, I laid new floors, I bought new furniture, I painted the house, I bought new decor. A lot of that money came from my cash envelopes and sinking funds, which was, again, what it's for. It's money budgeted that I plan to spend one way or another. I haven't really been spending on me in the past 2 months. The home is for everyone, but me personally, I have not been really spending any money. The most I spend is me eating out, dining out, or things like that. But I'm getting back in the swing of things. I want to say for the month, for me, my personal spending money, aside from self-care money, I'm thinking $150, right? You see how I put a $150 here on the budgeted column for the monthly payday envelopes budget. But now if you notice, my me money budget for the month went from $55 to $205 because it is now calculating the money that I plan to include for October spending in that budget. Now I see for the month I have $205 to spend for October on me because I already have $55 in that envelope. All right, let's look at dining out. Dining out has $0. How much money do I plan to spend for dining out this month? Now, let's be generous. We pretty much just eat out on weekends, but we haven't been eating out in a while. Not really. We've really been cooking a lot. I usually give $40 a week, which is $160, but I'm just gonna budget at $175. You see where there was $0 there in dining out on the spending expense category. Now it says $175. Let's see how I get through the month with $175 of eating out. I do plan on getting out a bit, hanging with my friends. I may have to alter that budget, but let's divvy up the $5,000 and let's see where we go. Car maintenance. I usually give $10 a week for car washes. Haven't been getting my car washed, so car maintenance, I am going to do $20. I already had $11, so that gives me $31. I keep saying that I'm going to cancel my car membership, my car wash membership. I haven't done it yet, but I do plan to do. Now, gas. It says I currently have $80 in gas. I think I will give $70 for the month for gas. Now, I work fully remote. I don't have to commute back and forth, but I like to have extra money in my gas envelope. Just I don't know. I never want to run out of gas, even though I never would not have money for gas. I really spend everything from a credit card and then pay my credit cards back. I'm just going to budget for $70 for gas. Now, groceries is always my biggest expense, you guys. I am going to budget for $1,000 for the month for groceries, okay? $250 a week is pretty good. We pretty much make all of our meals fresh. I'm a whole food person, not a whole food the market, but I like to eat whole foods, not processed foods and things like that. Everything is organic that I buy, only because for health benefits, I am trying to just eat clean and really just do my body the best way that I possibly can when it comes to my food choices. $1,000 for groceries. All right. Remember, we were at $9,920 for my spending expense. And now that amount went to $11,335. So already, if I come over to my monthly budget summary, now you can see where cash envelopes and sinking funds was $0. Right now I have $1,415 so far budgeted for the month of October. That's how the spreadsheet works, but I love it. I spent about a year making this, and I'm spending a year testing it out. I hope that this is something that will be beneficial to everyone and something that will be beneficial to my brand. But I am loving the template for everything to just self-calculate. Now, don't get me wrong. I love my Payday Budget book. I really do. And some people prefer pen over digital, but let's love our options, okay? All right, so household. I am going to budget $200 for the month for household. Now, I am probably going to put $150 here in my wallet to spend for the month. Oops, let me take that out. That didn't mean to go there. $150, but when I get to my household sinking fund, I'll put more money in my sinking fund. As you can see, my household sinking fund and my spending went up to $150. Now, giving, I like to give tzedakah separately, but I like to keep giving in my, tzedakah means charity in Arabic. So I like to keep let's say some money in my wallet to just give away, tips, just anybody, anything that I see. I'm going to budget for 40 for giving. Now, buffer. Buffer is just in case I go over in any of my wallet variable spending categories, which my cash envelopes for me are me money, dining out, car maintenance, gas, grocery, household, giving, buffer. Those are what I consider to be my cash envelopes because I carry those envelopes in my wallet to spend from week to week. All of my other envelopes with money I consider to be my sinking funds, and I don't carry them with me to spend, okay? They're in a safe. And since I work at a financial institution, because I rarely use my sinking funds, I've been keeping them in a safe deposit box. I'm not gonna lie, because I work for the financial institutions. If I ever need to go into the office, I will grab them if I need them. I think that is a smart, safe idea, even though I do keep them locked away in a safe. Buffer. How much do I plan to budget for overspending for the month? Now, I'm trying to stay on budget, and if you know me, I am the budgeter that likes to spend money. I'm going to stop claiming that. I am going to be the budgeter that just spends what's needed to spend. I don't know if I'm an emotional shopper, but maybe I am. But I like nice things, so I don't even know if I want to say that. But anyway, so I'm just going to budget for buffer $50, okay? So far, I have budgeted $1,655 for my cash envelopes for the month of October. Now, mind you, 1,000 of that is groceries, literally. That's bad, but not bad. All right, now it says I still have $3,294.59 to budget for the month. All right, now I'm going to go over to my sinking fund. Selfie Sanaa is my, you know what, let me clear out this column too. Selfie Sanaa is my self-care spending for me, hair, makeup, skincare, whatever. It's just me money, more me money, okay? But me money, budgeted me money. I do know that I have a hair appointment this month. I do know that this month I do want to get a manicure and a pedicure. I don't need any skincare or personal items that I'm aware of. My hair is usually $150. Manicure and pedicure is usually $100. So I'm going to safely say $300 to Selfie Sanaa. Luxury shopping, I don't plan on doing any luxurious shopping because I feel like remodeling my house was a luxury for me. I am going to just give $10 though to luxury shopping. You know what? It's for the month. Maybe I'll do 20. Planner stuff, I have not been buying anything planner related. I'm not contributing that. I'm not going to budget for that. Retirement, no, I don't even use that sinking fund anymore, but it's still a line item on here. Rollovers, my rollover sinking fund, I don't contribute money to. What I do is whenever I have money left over in my wallet, my cash envelopes, if I have money left over for the week, I will take all of that money and put it into rollovers. I will never contribute or budget to contribute to rollovers. That is just leftover budgeted money I place there. Home maintenance. Now, yes, I do want to budget to give $100 to home maintenance for the month. Laundry is my dry cleaning. I really do need to put some clothes in the dry cleaners. I'm just going to budget to give $20 because I already have, let's see. When I go over to budgeted money, my home maintenance went up to $5.95. Laundry was $66. I'm giving $20 more. It went up to $86. As you can see, this is money I already have in these envelopes. But as I contribute more, then it adds to that amount. Laundry, okay, I'm giving $20 to laundry. House cash. Now, house cash is any purpose, all purpose, no purpose money. I don't necessarily plan to give a lot, but I'll say, let's just $20. Once I get to a goal of $250 in that envelope, then I will stop contributing there. Household 2. Now, this is my household sinking fund where I let money accumulate. Like I said, in my wallet, I keep a household envelope. But again, I only like to carry but so much with me, like to actually have cash on my person. My sinking funds, I will let accumulate unlimited amounts of money if I'm able to contribute. Household, I do want to put $70 into household. Car maintenance, I did have to eventually buy tires, and that was almost $3,000. And I did have the money in my sinking fund, but I've depleted that, so I'm building it all up again. Now, my car is still under full warranty, so I am in need of brakes, but they're covered. I never knew brakes to be covered under warranty, but this BMW warranty I have, it covers my brakes and rotors and everything. I love it. I am going to contribute $100 to car maintenance. Medical health, I have an HSA. I don't necessarily need to budget, but I do like to have a little bit of money in this envelope just because. I'm going to budget just $20 for that. Savings. Now, I'm going to budget for $200 for saving. That's a no-brainer. Subscriptions. Currently, I have in subscriptions, I already have $467. I will just add $20 more to subscriptions. That's what I'm budgeting for the month. Now, let's take a look and see what my cash envelope and sinking funds. Right now, I have $2,525 in my cash envelopes and sinking funds that I'm budgeted for. I still have $2,424 to go. Now, I'm not going to necessarily put all of that money in cash envelopes and sinking funds, but I'm going to contribute what's needed. All right, so subscriptions, I am giving $20. It is our Islamic holiday. I do want to put $100 there. Fun, I will budget to put $40 in fun, $40 in tech. I'm not giving anything to giveaways. Black Friday, I'll do $40. I currently have in Black Friday $220, which now includes that $440. I don't plan on buying anything for Black Friday, but I do have money in case there is something. Now, I did want to buy a new iPad for the giveaway. Maybe I will increase Black Friday to $100 for this month. All right, gifts. I do need to start setting money aside for gifts. I'm always buying a gift. I'm going to budget $50 to put in gifts for the month. Travel, I'm not traveling, but I always like to put something aside for that. I'm going to budget $50. Student loans, I kind of budget for that out of my expenses. That used to be a line item. I'm going to leave that there, but I'm not going to contribute anything. Ramadan meals is going to get $40. Actually, $50. Ramadan meals will get $50. I am going to increase fun to $50 because there's 5 weeks this month and I get paid weekly. Tech, I'm going to do $50 also. Alrighty. Reward cash is money that I get cash back from my credit card spending, so I don't budget for that or contribute to that. Every month I take whatever money I accumulated from my cashback rewards and I place that in my sinking fund called reward cash. Right now I have in reward cash $713, and that's for my cashback rewards for the year of 2025 so far. Last year was like $2,500. I have cut back a lot. Not a lot of designer shopping, let's say that. No, I have. I can't necessarily, oh, no, I'm not going to talk about that. Business, I don't contribute. Anything business related comes out of my business account, but I leave that line item so that I can show what my spending is under business, but I don't contribute to a cash envelope or sinking fund. I used to, but it is a spending category. That's why it shows there. Jenna, okay, Jenna Boo, I need roughly $1,000 a year for all of her expenses. I did do the calculation, so I am going to give $75 for the month. I'm going to budget for that. Debt payoff, I'll come back to debt payoff. Now, my car insurance, I'm going to do $150 for the month. Lawn care, I feel if I get my lawn done every 3 weeks, let's just do $70 for the month. All right. My kids' savings, I'm over the kids. So over the kids, like they need jobs. They just need to move on. Like seriously, don't know. I don't know. Like I can't even get a grip around spending for let's see. I am just going to budget $50 for each. Dress game is their clothes. They don't need anything, honestly. And like I said, we haven't been shopping. So I will just budget to put $50 there. I already have had some money there. So with contributing to $50, it's now $344. So you can see that they already have a certain amount in their envelopes. We'll see how that goes. Allowance, I don't contribute to that because I don't give allowance. My thing is, I take care of you, I buy everything you need. Why am I giving an allowance? Now, do I give spending money? I do. Maybe I should put $50 in allowance because I am giving them money. All right, and my son's in schools. Okay, let me just do $100 for allowance. Toiletries is their personal items and anything that they may need. Currently, I have in toiletries $172. I will put $30 more in there for the month. We make our own toothpaste, so lotion and soap, and I have a bunch of the Castile soaps. I bought so many. We don't need to buy soaps, and they use that. The only thing they differ with is lotion, and we have a lot of that. Like, I try to buy a lot of things in bulk to last a long period of time. Activities, nobody's doing any activities that I have to pay for. Now my grandchildren. I do want to put 100. I had some, not 1,100. I do want, now I have to think about this. There are some things that I do want to buy for the grandchildren. I do have another grandbaby due, I think, in November, December. I'll have to start. I really want to budget for every single penny that I spend. After I budget all of this money, whatever I have left over, I'll see if I need to increase any of my sinking funds. Hobby stuff, I'm not contributing to. Wills, I'm not contributing to. Life insurance. Their life insurance went up. Let's see. If it's roughly $1,100 divided by 12. Yes, I can count, but let me do it this way. It's $100 a month. All right. Life insurance, I'm going to put $100 there for the kids' life insurance. Now, savings challenges. My goal this month is to save $500. Now, I'm putting $200 in savings. I am going to put $200. I'm going to put $200 in savings challenges. So that's going to be, if I put $200 in savings and then $200 in my savings challenges, that's $200. I feel like I'm going to do the $300 for the savings challenges. House Clean is a cleaning service. Now, do I have any money in House Clean? House Clean has $85 currently. Okay. I do want to prepare for another house clean, and I keep my house pretty clean. That's the thing, but I will indulge myself. I don't know. Let me just put $40 there. All right, $40 is going to go a house clean. So 1 month ahead, you guys, when I talked about this 1 month ahead binder, let me go get my 1 month ahead binder. Okay, this is my Let's Get Ahead binder. Can you see this? All right, this is my Let's Get Ahead binder, and it has 10 savings cards in it, and it has 10 envelopes, okay? Let's see, let me give you a blank card. All right, it's called Let's Get Ahead, and it's my month ahead trackers. Can you all see that? Okay. How this works is I decide what my bill category is for the month. I calculate my bills into categories: home, auto, credit, debt, subscriptions, business. I'm missing something. TV, cell, tech, things like that. I total up based on my bills. I put them all in those categories, and then I get a total. For my home bills, whatever that total is, I will divide it by 10. I can have it in 10% increments. Once I reach that 10% increment, then I will mark it off, and I'm 10, 20, 30% more to my goal. Trying to get a month ahead. So I am currently 30% into my home. For auto, I am only 10%. And credit, I actually save nothing. Sell tech, nothing. TV, nothing. But business, I am 10% into business. Subscriptions, I did 100% already. You can see what I'm getting at there. What I will say is, looking at how much further I need to be, because if I figure all of my expenses are $4,500 for the month, that means I need to start saving and putting away $4,500. So I will do $200. Let's see how much I've budgeted for my cash envelopes and my sinking funds. Let's see what the total is. Now, remember, we started out, I had $4,949 I needed to budget. Let's see how much we've budgeted. My cash envelopes and sinking funds is $4,290. And that leaves me $659.59 still left to budget. What I want to plan to do with that is I plan to make a debt payment. Let me go over to my monthly debt payment. I am going to budget $650 to go in my debt payment. Now when I go back to my monthly budget summary, that's $650 pre-filled, and now I have $9.59. I have budgeted, and remember, I budgeted on the low side. I budgeted $9,699 for income. I did not include any SKS income in there. That means if I do make more money, then I will have more money to allocate to my budget. But we'll go over that later. I am like a zero-based budgeter, but not a zero-based budgeter. I do like to give every dollar a job, but then sometimes I don't. I'm a budget my kind of way budgeter. I incorporate a lot of different budgets in one, but it works for me. When we look at my spending expense, it was $9,920. Now it's $14,210. When you look at my monthly budget summary, you see here my spending expense category, it went up. I now have an additional $4,290 to spend. I'm not going to spend all that in a month, but it's savings, short and long-term savings goals. See, that's the thing about cash envelopes and sinking funds. You put the money away, if you never use it, it just continues to save and to build. And before everybody come for me, oh, why don't you put that money in a high yield savings account? It's a preference, to each his own. I'm not interested in earning interest off of my money due to religious beliefs and preferences. We're not going to get into that. I don't need to be concerned with that. My concern is to be prepared for expected and unexpected expenses. And I do. I am however many years old I am. I've been on this earth for however many decades I've been on this earth. It works. I know how to manage my money. It shows all of the money that I have included for the budget. As I actually spend money on each payday tab, it shows you that calculated amount. So far, I've already spent $203.41 on groceries. I have $796.59 left to spend. Me money, I only spent $13.52. I have $191.48 left to spend. Now, each week as I get paid, I will do a cash stuffing, which will span out to this amount of money. When we do my cash stuffing, we'll come back and we'll look at my monthly budget again, and I will show you all how the actual columns pre-fill. But I love the design of this. I love the way it works. And so I budgeted my money for the month of October. You guys, I know it might seem like a lot to everyone, but it's not. I really want to do a walkthrough of my template to show everyone what makes a lot more sense. I have a trackers tab. Oh, let me show you my no spend. This is a no spend calendar, and it's generated from each monthly, and it self-calculates how much you spend each day, and it highlights your no spend days. It says in May I spent $7,028.10. I only had 3 no days, so no spend days. I didn't do really well. In June, it says I spent $9,147. I only had 1 no spend day, but as you can see, and it calculates each day how much I've spent based on what I'm entering in my spend category for that week. I calculate my expenses, and we'll go through that. We'll go over that in detail next Friday when I do my weekly expense cash out video, and you'll see how I'm using the template to track all of my spending for the week and how I'm pulling that money from my cash envelopes to pay back my credit card spending. We'll take a look at that. Let me go back to the contents tab. Let me go back to October, and I'm going to do a full walkthrough video of the template. The only thing that I didn't do that I need to do was build out the instructions tab. I have not finished building out the instructions tab, and I have to do that before I put it on sale for everyone. But I hope you all love it. I really do. The categories table is where you plug in all of your information that it pre-fills from sheet to sheet. It's very simple to plug that in. I'll walk everyone through. I have a yearly summary tab, which has a lot of information on it, investment, credit card reward trackers, things like that. It definitely has a lot of information in this template, in this payday budget dashboard. I can't wait for all of you to see it and use it. My monthly bills categories table, this is what I mean how it breaks out. My home bills, my auto, it breaks out all of my total expenses in each category. I can see now this is slightly off because this is based on that table and it's based on another table. Oh no, that's correct. It's based on my payday budget tables. I'm sorry. Each week's payday, it's pulling from there. When I enter the bills on the payday tab, let's look at, I can show you. Let's go to this tab. The bills are already put in here that need to come out for that pay period. If the bill slightly differs from what's on the month tab, then of course that amount's gonna be different. But again, overall, I budgeted for $4,317 for bills to pay for the month. If I come in slightly less, that's because the bill might have been less, and what auto paid might be different. That's why that may be a difference there. But that's it for my budget for the month, you guys. I can't wait wait to edit this video and get it all out to you all. And then next we'll be doing my cash stuffing for my first paycheck for October 3rd. You can see how I budgeted my paycheck for that month and how I use the money that I budgeted monthly for my cash envelope and sinking funds, how I'm breaking that down weekly into my paydays. You guys, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be back in front of the camera. I can't wait to interact with you all, and hopefully I don't go missing again. All right, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Please stay tuned for my next video.